Right, 7 October 2025, and today I'm excited to be giving you the morning update after a break. So many people were complaining to say, why didn't you do the evening update? And as I explained, it's important for us to give people a rest so that they don't sleep watching me and wake up watching me. So that is addiction. So Tukugadzirisa, addiction. So now let me take you through what has happened and what is trending today. We're going to be short. I'm going to keep it to 30 minutes. So we're doing a new format now, and we're currently busy fixing our systems. So our internal systems of Gambakwe run on a server, and that server is moving. So we're moving to a new server. That is why our websites are not working. So apologies for that. And also that has affected many other websites on our server. And by Friday, that will be sorted. So let's go into the important story of today. That is the break-in at multiple offices that are connected to Mnangagwa in the security structure in Zimbabwe. So a man has appeared in court yesterday regarding that and those break-ins. We first heard about the break-ins when Kazembe's office was cleared. So everything in his office was stolen, and he woke up to find nothing in the office. So that is the first time that we heard that there was robberies. However, it has turned out that there's been multiple robberies at various offices connected to the Mnangagwa government, including the president's office, which has been broken into. On top of Kazembe's office, at least 5 other offices have been broken into. So if you look at the map of Harare, you will see that this is the area around Mnangagwa's office. So at the top, you're going to see there's Herbert Chitepo Street over there. And if you go further down, you will see Mukwati Building, Chaminuka Building, and the Kagovi Building, and the Munumutapa Building. So these are the major offices of Zimbabwe. You're also going to see the National Art Gallery of Zimbabwe and the Grand Solu Hotel. So this area houses most of the security infrastructure of Zimbabwe, including Mnangagwa's office, which is at Munumutapa, and also Chiwenga's office, which is at Munumutapa. So most of these guys' offices are over there. So the robbery that has taken place, that we all know about, which was not publicized at all, only media houses, online media houses, posted about the robbery. It has turned out that a young man has been arrested. I don't know if he's young, but the man that you're seeing there has been arrested for multiple robberies which have taken place inside of the offices, that is Munumutapa, Kaguvi, and Chaminuka, including President's office, and multiple computers have been stolen. So a lot of computers have been stolen, and these computers include laptops, all-in-one computers, and also boxes, computer boxes. The question is, how was this possible, given the fact that this is one of the most secure places to go? So if you want to go into the 17th floor, where the president's office is located, how was this young man able to go in there? And if you look at the type of computers that were stolen, it's someone who knows what they were doing. The computers that were stolen include 4 boxes, which were stolen in the president's office. And then after that, there were other thefts, which include, here, let me just unpack for you, the ministry. So that is the president's office and cabinet, Zimbabwe Statistics Agency, Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Home Affairs. So that is June 18, July 4, August 2, August 29, August 29, Ministry of Gender, Mainstreaming and Industry and Wellness, August 29, Kazembe's office, and then multiple thefts on unspecified deaths that have taken place. And they are blaming a young man called Romeo Kurai Pemba. And if you look at Romeo Kurai Pemba, in the past, in 2015, he was arrested for thefts. But if you look at the theft that was involved in, they are very interesting thefts. These include thefts at the offices of the CEO of Stuart Bank. And I don't know if the CEO of Stuart Bank, that is the bank that has recently changed hands, but that bank is connected to Econet. And then you see that he has also stolen at the offices of one of the top ZANU-PF officials. So one of the top ZANU-PF connected officials who owns a company called Jokster. And then he has also robbed other places, including a ministry. So I think let me try to find a bit more detail here on what he has stolen, and I'll put it on Gambakwe. So this is a lot of thefts that are connected to people of interest. And my conclusion is that these are not normal thefts. These are thefts related and connected to the current political situation. If you look at what has happened in the past, just before the election, the ZEC offices were robbed. So the ZEC offices were robbed and people blocked the roads and stole. Recently, with the theft at Minotaur's office, when Chiwenga was out of the country, there was a robbery where a multiple number of cell phones were stolen. And my thinking here is what you're looking at here, considering what was stolen and the quantity, you're looking at someone collecting data here. Someone is collecting data. And I don't believe that it's one guy. I don't think one guy was doing this and going to all these offices and stealing. So I believe that something else was going on, a bigger thing was going on, an operation. When I'm talking of an operation, I always tell you guys about one time when I was working at a certain place, when Zimbabwe intelligence sent someone from the roof and stole a CEO's laptop. That is stealing, not just stealing, but to find information. So they use that modus operandi to steal. So I believe that this is connected to the factional fighting that is taking place, given the kind of robberies, what was taken and where it was taken. This was an operation from June up to now. So this ended in August when Kazembe's office was robbed. And as you are aware, Kazembe also inside of the faction of ED 2030. And currently, Muchangwa's office, I believe that she's in women. And I don't know if she's the one who's got the gender and mainstreaming office over there. But somehow that office was also robbed. So you're looking at Zimstats, you're looking at other places that have been robbed that we don't even know about. But certainly, robberies taking place at high-profile offices, including Mnangagwa's office. I don't know what is in those computers, but a lot of robberies are taking place all together. And if you connect back to what happened in 2015 and the type of sentence that Romeo Kurai Pemba got, which is 16 years in jail with 4 years suspended, and which means he was supposed to serve 12 years, but he's only served 9 years. So I don't know if this is connected or if someone has hired someone who knows how to get into buildings. But 17th floor and going to all these multiple buildings, security not improving, and the type of thefts, it indicates to me that these are not normal robberies. These are thefts connected to what is going on between the ZANU-PF guys. Right, Mtabisi Moyo, good question. Where are you getting your information? Gambakwe. Right, apologies for that. I did not say. So let us go to our main newspaper, which is the H Metro newspaper. It is carrying that story. Part of that, what I've told you, is in the H Metro. So you can go into the H Metro newspaper and you'll see the very same story here, but without some of the details. But H Metro does carry this story, and a lot of other newspapers are carrying this story. So it's not something that I'm creating for you. I don't have a reason to do so, and I'm not interested in creating stories for ZANU. They've got their own stories by themselves. So let me show you so that you understand where to get a more detail of this. So go to H Metro newspaper, and if you go to page 2, right, I hope I'm in the right newspaper. Right, there it is. It says habitual thief nabbed breaking into government offices. So if you go in here, you will see a portion of the story. But obviously, some of the stuff that I've given you is not from here. It is from other places or other research. This is not a secret story. It is a public story, which is well available everywhere. So I'm sure you are satisfied that we're not giving you a fake story. Right, so you got it. That is the real thing that is happening. Tavis, good job asking a question to say, where did you get that information? So I hope that you're all satisfied with what I've given you here. Now let's quickly go into other news so that we don't waste time. Let's start with what has happened also with the drugs. So in a sad development, 2 soccer players have been arrested. So these are former soccer players. No, I don't think anyone this big play soccer. So they have arrested them, and this is because they've been robbing other people's lives by selling drugs. So if you go to our websites, I hope the app, you'll be able to see that Tumai Matsika and Kudzai Mhlanga, former soccer players, have been arrested, and police have issued a statement regarding the drugs that were selling, huge amounts and quantities of drugs that they were transporting, and their car has been confiscated by the police. So this is very sad, but prominent people in Zimbabwe transporting and selling drugs and getting caught. I hope that they continue catching them. And what a sad situation in our country where people have to live on selling drugs. Then one of the most important developments have taken place in our country, and that is the new health services bill, which has gone for its second reading. So this bill is very important because it is going to change how private hospitals operate in Zimbabwe. So listen very carefully how this is going to work. So it is now going to be mandatory for private hospitals and health institutions to admit and stabilize patients who are in life-threatening conditions for at least 48 hours, even if they don't pay. You are going to be forced to treat a person under arrest or detention. Any health institution, you'll be obliged to provide treatment to individuals who are under arrest or detention. And then there will be a complaints procedure. So doctors won't be able to do what they're doing right now in Harare. And there will be powers to impose sanctions to the Permanent Secretary of Health and Child Care. And the bill intention is to align the health sector to the constitution. So the man you're watching there is the Minister of Health of Zimbabwe, Dr. Douglas Mambeu. So that is the man that will be in charge of that bill. And that has gone through its second reading, and then it's going to go to committee stage, and you're going to see a bit of a change in Zimbabwe's health sector. It's terrible. Don't get sick when you're in Zimbabwe. You have to go to a public hospital because the private guys, they are not what you think. So the public hospitals in Zimbabwe are actually better than the private sector. They will charge you 10,000 without blinking. They'll charge you 20,000 without blinking, even if you've got medical aid. So don't get sick when you're in Zimbabwe. The terrible situation over there. And then let's go to other stories very quickly. And then we are looking at a story by Kozwa. Kozwa is very interesting. They've got some of the most interesting stories. And they are alleging that Joanna Mamombe, who is an MP, as father, is passed away. And I do not see the full name here. So let me look at the story about Joanna Mamombe, and then I'll give it to you. So it says here, Mr. Andrew Utire passed away last week. He was buried last week at Chaka Chirumanzu. Utire is the biological father of CCCMP for Harare West, Joanna Mamombe, but she grew up with her mother. She did not attend the burial of her father. That is what Kozwa is saying. Kozwa, you know them, Children of Zimbabwe War Veterans Association. They are claiming that Joanna Mamombe did not attend the funeral of her own father because of some sort of dispute. Thank you very much. Brocken, yes, Brocken. broken into, robbed and broken. So we said broken and robbed. So that's what we said here. Then let's look at my brother, Tino Mambeu. I like this man. Tino Mambeu, I spent so much time with him. When Tsvangirai was very sick, he was probably spending more time with Tsvangirai than any other person. So Tino Mambeu has posted something very interesting, and that is he has met one of the legends in Zimbabwe, someone who's got 5 wives. So this man that you're seeing here is called, let's see who this guy's name is. I'm forgetting his name, but let me find you a picture from our website. He's called Gabriel Mapfunde, the only young man with 5 wives in Zimbabwe, and he keeps all of them very, very happy. And that is him here with his 4 wives. So very interesting. And Tino Mambeu has shared his meeting here. I think he has met his legend. I think Tino himself has only 2 wives. Only 2 wives. So he has met his legend over here. And that's very interesting. You can go to Gambakwe.com. We've covered this man's story extensively. How he's able to keep all 5 wives happy. So if you've got 1 wife, how does Gabriel Mapfunde manage 5 wives? And this is his first wife. She's never been photographed, by the way. This is the first time she's ever been photographed, ever. Very interesting. And you can go ask Tino Kuti, how did it happen that he met these 2? Then let's go to the newspapers, and we'll quickly go to South Africa. A very sad situation has taken place with the funeral of the 3 children who were killed or who passed away. And the suspicion is that someone killed them and put them in the boot of a car. So in a sad development, the funeral has been held, and it was done by Nyaradzo. I believe that Nyaradzo has done this funeral for free, if I'm not mistaken. So that is Mdara Philip Mataranyika. So you can go and check out the story in almost all the newspapers. The reason why this is interesting is because the post-mortem results are coming out today. And allegations are that the children were too small to open the boot and get in. So they could not have gotten in by themselves. And anyway, that place is guarded. So how did they eventually get in there? And why didn't people find them when they started looking? And this funeral has been very painful. And as you know, one of the brand ambassadors of Nyaradzo is Madam Bosio. She was attending here. And you can go and check out the whole story in the H Metro newspaper. So some of these kids, I believe they are from Masvingo and the other from Uzumba. So the burial is actually going to take to the place today, and the post-mortem, according to police, is going to come out today. Very sad situation. But what I always say, broken down cars must be removed. Fridges must be removed. So if at your house there's a car which is old, which is broken down, you must break the windows and you must break the locks. If there's a fridge or a deep freezer that is not working, you must remove that deep freezer and throw it away. You're not going to use it. And don't put anything where kids can jump into and close themselves inside, because they will do it. Don't put a bucket with water near kids. They will jump in there and they'll die. So this is not, this has happened last month or 2 months ago. The same situation has happened again, where I think 2 or 3 other children died when there was a church service at Rua. So it is important to make sure that you clear out all the old cars and put them in the junkyard. That's why people put cars in the scrapyard for this kind of thing. Right, now let's go to newspapers. We're going to start with the Herald newspaper. I haven't looked at it because I got so busy with our websites. Our websites have been experienced some issues for a while, so we had to fix them, and we're still fixing them. So let's look at, and I'll tell you how our websites work so that you guys know. They're not just simple websites like any other websites. They're actually systems. Systems, yes. So let's look at Mnangagwa. Innovation Hub spark raw transformation. Mzarabani generates income from wild Masau fruits. And then tobacco earns 1 billion. I think you can watch a lot of other things here. First Lady, patron of the Wildlife Ambassador, statement on wildfires. She's made a statement. And then let's see if there's anything. The story that I've given you, here it is again. Government offices robbed. You can go and check it out here, but there's not that much detail. So I've given you more details. And then let's see what Opam Chinguri is saying. ZANU-PF conference preps showcase formidable organizational strength. So the funny thing about Opam Chinguri, when I was in Zambia, she was there, right? When I was arrested, she was in Zambia. And I said to the guys, I want to see Opam Chinguri. And she came down. She didn't want to meet me. But Opam Chinguri is very strange. She says the most dangerous things, but she says it in a soft voice. So she can say, go and kill that guy, remove his legs, and cut his head. But she will say it in a way that is so soft, and it's crazy. She is probably, you heard what he said about ZANU-PF. Go and watch the video of what he said about ZANU-PF, that no one will ever be able to remove ZANU. So she's like a godfather of ZANU. Go and check it out. Probably looking forward to becoming a president also in the incoming or new administration that is going to come. She'll probably finish them all with strategy rather than force. So that is the point I'm trying to make. That don't think only the people that you think are going to be president will be president. There are other people who are also capable in ZANU-PF becoming a president, and she is probably also in line. But I'm trying to open this story here, but for some reason it's stuck, so I can't open the story. But this is the big jump in the market turnover of the ZSE. What this means is that we are going to face inflation. I've shown you in the past that if you want to see that inflation is going up, look at the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. If you see Zimbabwe Stock Exchange jumping, it's like the South African Stock Exchange, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. It's grown by more than 20% in like a month or so. The reason why these stock exchanges are jumping is because people are jumping into assets, or they're dumping cash and going into assets. So the reason why they do that, there's nothing else to invest in. So go and read that story in the Herald very carefully. The reason why these things happen is not because the economy is doing well. So it's because people are jumping away from money. They don't want money. Money doesn't do anything for them. So they are looking for a place to hide their money. So if I was the Reserve Bank, I won't be celebrating that there is a big jump in the stock exchange when there's no economic activity. So that is one story you must look at. And then Zimbabwe versus South Africa rivalry. So there's a match between Zimbabwe and South Africa, and you can see Kamabiliat here looking very fit. Kamabiliat is now looking fit. When he went to Zimbabwe, he was very weak. Now he's looking much better because of game time. He's getting a lot of game time. And look at his big man with Ndevu. That guy, Ndevu shows you how much your testosterone is, if you didn't know. Right, let's go to a very interesting story that has taken place in Bulawayo. And this is the sister of the armed robbers who robbed Eco Bank. Is it Eco Bank? Yes. They are alleged to have stolen 4 million from Eco Bank. Their sister has been arrested for robbing other people of $36,000. So I don't know if this is connected or not, but this is what has happened. And then the judge has raised alarm over deadly artisanal mining violence. That is Justice Munamato Mutevedzi. Justice Munamato Mutevedzi says there's too much violence in mining. Ask Owen Muda. Ask Owen Muda, the godfather, when mining. And then we got the young man here, Mobile Magwizi. Zifa sets poor roadmap for lower leagues. So that is for the lower leagues. So that is our newspapers. Our main newspaper has closed. That is the independent newspaper, Newsday, and the the Independent and the Standard. I'm not seeing these newspapers here. So I believe that they've finally closed because they're not here. And then let's look at South African newspapers. I have not had a chance to look at the Star. So let's look at the Star newspaper. And then we'll quickly jump onto our people. So claim of sabotage in Majanga Commission. US deports larger group of convicted criminals to Eswatini. Those are the stories at the front of the newspaper. But one of the biggest stories that has happened in South Africa today is the failure by the SAA to report. So the South African Airways has failed to provide their financial statements in time. So they've missed the 30 September deadline, and they've now asked for the 30th of November to be given 30th of November to produce their annual report. And at the same time, the DECO, which is the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, has also failed to provide their financial statements because of audit issue. So there are audit issues over there. And then we've got the story of ANC disowning Brown Mohosi, who is alleged to be one of the people connected to the ongoing saga with the police and General Mkwanazi. So he has been named as one of the people that were interfering with the police, including the minister, Mutunu. They are connected, and the NCS yesterday disowned him and said he is not part of them. But he has gone out and hit very hard at Fikile Mbalula and said Fikile Mbalula himself is very corrupt and has alleged a lot of things. You can go to SABC. You see the allegations that is made over there. Then let's go to our bloggers. So every day I look at the top bloggers or people who are doing interesting things online. So we've looked at the Msekas, we've looked at the Miribidi House, we've looked at Titan Kiki. Titan Kiki, they're doing very well in Zimbabwe. They are settling. You can see that they now bought a new sofa. And then you can see that there's a new group of people returning to Zimbabwe. So there's a new channel, husband and wife, the Machinguras. So the Machinguras have moved or are planning to move back to Zimbabwe, and they're doing a lot. You can go and look at the dynamic between the wife and husband. So if you want to see the dynamic in the relationship, put a husband and wife here for 2 hours. By the end of that 2 hours, you know who in the house is boss. You see who is the boss. But in this particular case, I like it. Go check out this channel. They're doing a lot to move back to Zimbabwe. Unfortunately, my brother Tafi the man seems to have disappeared. I do not know what has happened to him. I've not seen him producing a video for more than a month. And I don't know how that works. You can't go for a month without producing a video. It's like when you go to the Nyatis YouTube channel. I don't understand how the Nyatis have a YouTube channel which they don't update. That is crazy. All right. I think we've covered most of the stuff. Let's go to our people. That is our people on Facebook. So let's start with Mini. Has Mini published anything? Let's look at Mini. Obviously, Hopo, we always check him out. You can go to Hopo's channel almost every day. There's something new over there. You can go and check out Hopo. Although, as you can see, our news readers are not there. So you can see that there are no news readers now. We are making massive changes to how we operate. So we are not doing news anymore for a while until I figure out how to proceed. So those are some of the changes that I'm making according to the response that I'm getting, including wives phoning me to say, Gambakwe, why are you live at midnight and our husbands are not sleeping? So that's why we've taken away the evening 9-10, except if there's breaking news. If there's no breaking news, I won't be coming live at night. We'll be doing more things during the day. So Mini has not published. Sanyatwe has not published. Let's go to where's Madam Boss? Yes, Madam Boss, I've already covered it. She's gone to the funeral of the kids, but she is also publishing other things. So you can go to a platform. There's nothing new that I want to cover. here that she has done. And then let's look at SADC. Very interesting stuff happening in SADC. So let's see what has happened in SADC. In particular, HIV health in Lusaka. So we are all awaiting the rollout of lenacapavir. That is a drug which you inject once. It is rolling out in January. If you inject in January, you inject again in June, and you'll be protected from contracting HIV. So that is coming. I know that most of the guys are using PrEP, which is a 1 pill a day. That your days are finished of using 1 pill a day. And now you can use 1 injection in 6 months, and you'll be free. So if you see yourself not using a PrEP, wakapusa, because unofira mahara, you must use a PrEP. You don't know what is happening anyway. You are not in control. So find out as soon as the PrEP rolls out, go get it and be safe. Then let's look at President Duma Gideon Boko. So President Duma Boko is obviously back from the United States, I think. And okay, he's not yet back. So let's see, let me show you what is happening. So if you go to the Facebook page of President Duma Boko, it says President Advocate Duma Boko wrapped up a high-profile visit to the USA where he delivered his made a speech at the UN. So you can go and check out here. And then the Lord said to Gideon, with the 300 men that I left, I will save you and give you the Midianites into your hands. God is in it. So you can go and check it out. And then President Hakainde Hichilema, let's see what President Hakainde Hichilema has said. Zambia is my second country. He is not posted after returning, probably suffering from jet lag over there. I think we've covered most of the stuff that I wanted to cover. Let's go to the comments. Whose wives called to complain about your late broadcast? That's a lot of garbage. Why don't you like? I have people complaining. Wives call me and they say, Gambakwe, your broadcast at 9:10, you finish at 10. My husband comes to bed with his phone. And then in the morning at 5, you are live again. My husband is holding his phone. And I'm not getting any attention. I've had so many calls. And then, Gambakwe, you should do AI news. M31. No, I can't do AI news. It will never be possible to replace Gambakwe. I can assure you that if you don't watch me, you're going to walk around wondering what's going on. Because what we do here to summarize for you the whole of the African continent. And we are doing this because we're moving towards the 24-hour structure. I'm moving to Zimbabwe now. By December, we are going to set up our office in Zimbabwe. And our plan is you'll be able to walk into the setup we're going to have. And you'll be able to sit with me and with other guys. So just wait. You're going to see the plan that we have. And also for all the other bloggers with a plan. And then let's see, Opa chickens out, Kuona Gambakwe garbage, show us the poison injuries you sustained. I can show you some of the poison injuries. I know people want to see my poison injuries. So I'll show you, but it was so bad. Like I was bleeding. I couldn't open my mouth. But it's not Opa who poisoned me. I didn't say Opa poisoned me. Because I don't know who did it. So don't go around saying Opa did it. I didn't say Opa did it. So someone else did it. They came in my room. The good things now I've got set up where anything that happens in my room, I'll be able to watch you from afar. So I'll show you my camera, my monitoring camera, which I use now. If I go out of any room, you'll be shocked that I'm going to catch you doing whatever you're doing. Okay, I think we've covered everything. That is the kind of question that we get from Zimbabwe Kanza. Zimbabwe Kanza's question. Right, let me now give you an update on Kariba. Guys, let me give you an update on what happened in Kariba. So, there is a case in Kariba where we gathered a bunch of people to come on a project. You saw me here addressing Chief Justice Malava a week or so ago. So what has happened is that after my address here, the court in Harare they've sat and had a hearing without telling me. I didn't know there was a court case. They went to court after my address and they did have a judgment. They passed a judgment. Now the court in Harare is refusing to give us the judgment. Right now, as I speak, there was a judgment or a ruling or a court order. And that court order, I've not seen it. We've been asking the lawyers of the opposition and the actual court, and we've not received the judgment. It's been more than a week now, and we don't know what they ruled. Can you believe that a court can make a ruling and then you don't know the judgment, and you're the one who is being accused, or you're the one who is the respondent? So this is what has happened. I don't know what has happened with the courts in Zimbabwe, but there is a lot. I've written to the law side again to explain to them that this is what is happening. Whatever is happening there needs to be addressed. And unfortunately, we're not going to let it go because they are wasting our time. So we have a bunch of people that have not paid. So they were supposed to pay a certain amount to go into our project. They didn't pay. We said to them, you didn't pay, you must leave. They didn't want to leave. We agreed to an out-of-court settlement with them. And then they didn't show up. I flew to Harare 2 times. They didn't show up in Harare. They didn't show up in Kariba. I spent almost 10 days in Zimbabwe waiting for them to come. They didn't come. Then they've gone to court multiple times without telling us. And somehow the court was allowing them to go without us. And now they've gone to court and obtained a judgment or a court order. And I don't know the court order. They don't want to say what is the court order. No one wants to say. So we're going to let you guys know. I'll be updating you almost every day. Once Gambakwe will never go to Zimbabwe. Msanyebe, James, stop lying. I'm going to go to Zimbabwe. What is the worst that can happen to me? What have I done which you say kuti munhu aende kuZimbabwe? Chii chaungati Gambakwe aende kuZimbabwe chaakaita? What crime? Kuita newspaper crime here. Zidzoro. Zidzoro James Chiwara. You sound like Simbaji Kanza. James Chiwara. Who knows whose ghost James Chiwara is? This sounds like Simbaji Kanza. There is no way that someone can be like this. All right, I think I've covered it. I'm really excited to talk to you guys. 40 minutes almost. I'm talking longer than Makandiwa. So I think Makandiwa, one of my favorite pastors is Makandiwa. I did tell you guys that long back, Makandiwa said, if you put $7 or $77 or $770, you can then say how much you want and God will give it to you. They put $7 and they said, I want 1 billion. Makandiwa, and Drukuda 1 billion yangu. Makazodi Nanyoka, I will let you guys know. I'll give a call to General Stole. Then I'll give him a shout so that he can update us very soon. So Nyoka is going to be out very soon. But guys, we need to contribute to the legal fees. We need about, I think approximately $5,000. So WhatsApp me here. And then let's make it happen. We want to raise $5,000 for Nyoka. And that money is going to go to General Stole. It's not going to go to me. So that you know, I don't want to touch my residual. If you WhatsApp me there, we'll make sure that Nyoka's lawyers are paid. So we currently owe 60,000 to the certain lawyer, the original lawyer, and more money is being owed. So WhatsApp that number and we'll connect you na General Stole for Nyoka's legal fees. Murikupioma 20 million, 30 million, 5,000 legal fees are Nyoka. I'm so disgusted by that behavior. So I want that money, $5,000 for Nyoka. And then obviously, you know that I am going to be contesting as president in 2028. So we're setting up and it's going to do very, very well. We are probably the best campaign ever. Chamisa Aka broker for Harvard. Chamisa Harvard. Aka broker. Stories. every day. We need a president and a punch, akasimba, not president anouya kutaura ma stories every day. Toda president anopedza. All right, I think we've covered everything. I'll see you guys. If there's breaking news, we come. So now what we're going to do is I'll try to avoid 9:10 because the wives have complained. So they've complained. They said, Gambakwe, our husbands are no longer interested in us. They are addicted to you. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I'll see you again as soon as there's any breaking news. And remember to support our sponsor. Guys, I need the support if you're in the UK and Australia. New Zealand, you can buy. We're no longer supplying the USA, South Africa. Please buy and let's make it happen. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching and a good day to you all.